Introducing the Seal of Inanna. All is struck down by you, O winged lady. Like a bird you scavenge the land, like a charging storm you charge. Like a roaring storm you roar. You thunder in thunder, snort in rampaging winds. Your feet are continually restless, carrying your harp of sighs. You breathe out the music of morning. The Hymn to Inanna by Inanna, 2300 BC, Babylonian. There comes a time when the grip of oppression will not cease of its own will, and the hand must be cut from its source in order to end its tyranny, when the heart of power has been so corrupted that its pace only quickens with excitement when it achieves new heights of cruelty. There comes blankets of death, disease and destruction, war, hatred, famine. When words like mercy are met with anger instead of compassion, there comes times when people die of starvation and the chill of night on the streets. There comes times when people are silenced at the hands of the unseen, brave voices that speak out against corruption, greed, and deceit, but like a canary are silenced in the darkness while trying to be a voice of safety in the underbellies of our world. Is this time now? I believe I see the symptoms. Do you? Is it time to cut the hand of power from its body, from its source? The seal of Inanna is constructed to conjure the essence of natural harmony and justice. In the center is the Ankh, a symbol of life, death, and everlasting life, the ever-persistent march of time. As we breathe in the present, we beckon our ends that unify us with all once again into nothingness. The Ankh represents our connection to the great desire that manifests all things, the pulsation and throbbing of light itself as it fluctuates from wave to particle, just as our hearts beat, as our lungs expand and contract, as Gaia pirouettes on the needle, and we are graced with both day and night, light and darkness, life and death. Weaving around the Ankh, we have the Rose of Venus. This is the web that the planet Venus weaves around us as she moves through her 8-year cycle from our perspective, dazzling us in the evening skies in the west and daring to shine with the sun in the morning hours in the east. The light of Venus was known as Inanna in the Babylonians, Ishtar to the Sumerians, and Isis to the Egyptians. Her rose in this image acts as a reminder that harmony must be maintained, that the garden of our souls, both as individuals and as a greater culture, needs to be kept, pruned, nurtured. That we need to come back to things to make sure they are thriving. It's only through nurturing our relationships, by tending to them, do they continue to thrive and proliferate. Outside and behind the rose of Venus are two triangles. These triangles symbolize the flow of energy from one source to another. The triangles are behind the rose because energy must be disrupted for true harmony to be achieved. So the rose takes precedence over the ideal movement of energy in the natural world. There are few things that fit into perfect symmetry until you're looking from such a wide vantage point that there is nothing at all. We observe the natural world closely. It allows for things to be messy. Like a larva in the chrysalis, sometimes we need to make a mess in order to bring back a righteous and fair order. We've invited the sigils of Jupiter, Saturn, and Black Moon Lilith to not only help anchor the astrological timing as a reminder, but to also ask them for their aid as we move towards and forward in this current cycle. Jupiter in Cancer reminds us that justice is personal. We are no longer allow justice to wear her blindfold. She needs all of her senses in order to truly contextualize the situation, instead of simply the words of those who speak her language. The language of courts has been made foreign to the people. How can one defend themselves with the power of the word if they don't speak the language? Jupiter in Cancer comes to us, a judge that sees with his eyes and feels the truth of his own inner knowing, able to discern when words are being manipulated for deception instead of truth. Saturn in Pisces informs Jupiter in Cancer about where the corruption in his house is. Where are the rusted and busted pipes? Look here, Saturn whispers as he points at the mold on the overpriced food in the fridge. Look here, he says as he points to the people dying on the streets while homes sit empty. Look here, he says as he emphasizes the enormous cancerous tumors growing in trillionaire bank accounts. Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio with Mars is empowered to remember that her rightful place is inside the garden as an equal with Adam, and that his time as a dictator is coming to an end. The sword also cuts across the triangle to represent the symbol of the air element. This is meant to represent the age we've stepped into as the most recent Jupiter-Saturn conjunction completed in the air sign of Aquarius started the 200-year cycle in air, as they will make their meetings in air signs. The sword borrowed from the Queen of Swords. Its hilt points to the ascendant and Venus rising in the east before the sun in Libra. She walks arm in arm with Spica on one side and Arcturus on the other. The sword is calling for Inanna, Ishtar, Isis, and Venus to take up the sword and demand justice so that harmony can once again be established. We imagine Venus as the Queen of Swords. She uses her blade to cut away all the greed that has thumbed her scales of Libra for too long. A greed that is thirsty and relentless. A greed that cares not for life but only power. A thirst that can't be quenched even if the ocean is sucked dry like a martini on the 58th floor of a tower. The goal of the seal is to bring the people together in harmony during the trials and tribulations that we are bound to face, that this seal can bring people together regardless of subtle differences in order to tear down a system of power that usurps all of our sovereignty and divinity, so we can topple the will of corruption and greed, so that we may truly live as equals with not just humanity, but with the natural world as well. And with that, we finish with a prayer for the seal of Inanna, and we say, O great Queen of Desire, the unrelenting beat of our hearts and the drum of time, the pulling of your chariot across the sky, we call to you. We fling the gates of our rib cages open so our hearts may be judged by you, so that you can see our passion for harmony, we call to you. O great maiden, both morning and night, O mistress to all, and the flush of blood and blush to the face, O famed dancer, in the imagination of all who love and lust, we call to you. We beckon spring forth from the depths of winter, your flower drips with the nectar that bees thirst for, you bathe in the morning dew, and the sun rises to kiss your flesh, we call to you. O great temptress, who can beckon the dark night, who can cause the wheel to turn, that the sun falls, who can yoke all the world into the morning close, we call to you. Join us, unify us, invigorate us, impress upon us with your beauty, your passion, your harmony. Call forth Aries to bring his children to the fray. Call forth Saturn to bring his children to the fray, that the builders, the smiths, and the workers of the world would hear your call, that armies would turn their backs to the people and face their arms to the powerful, then defend the many against the wealthy. Hear our call. O shining, beautiful Inanna, raise your blade and cut away at the excess, cut away at the greed, prune the gluttonous sloth class. Through the mess of passions and the balancing of your scales, may we find a fair price to pay for our grief, for our woes, and for our freedom. Hear our call. May we be unified in your light, in revelation beyond borders, beyond boundaries, beyond belief. Let the ivory towers tumble to the ground. May they burn, and the flames be an effigy to your harmonious pull, fingertips clinging with such grip towards the peaks from which truth can be screamed. Hear our call, as it is here, now and forever. May the fire inside guide us, and so it is.